Welcome to the Edamame Anime Club, where a girl with pink hair and horns spared our lives to film this episode. I'm Steve, and I'm joined by my co-host.
Alexander, always great to be here.
All right, let's get into this episode. And we started this new segment where we try a different beverage
Yeah.
of choice, and we try to have a theme toward the episode. So I went ahead and picked out this number right here, Sierra Nevada, Wild Little Thing, Slightly Sour Ale. And I mean, we're
I think the description is perfect. Like
yeah,
the wild little thing, you know.
yeah. And if you don't, we're actually, what episode are we doing now? What's the anime we did this week?
We're going to be doing an elfin lead.
Elfen Lead. I always thought it was Elfen Light, and then we heard him say it.
Yeah, the announcer calls it elfin lead.
Elfen Lead, yes.
Yeah.
So I just thought it was themed because it's pink and is the main.
Yeah.
I don't even know what to call Lucy, but
Yeah. The pink is really the
yeah,
matching color for it. Yeah.
yeah. All right, and Wild Little Thing. I mean, we'll explain why that's relevant later.
Yeah. Try this one out.
Yeah. Kampai.
Kampai. Not as sour as I thought it was going to be.
Damn, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Guava, hibiscus, and strawberry. That is actually pretty good. Sierra Nevada, yeah, sponsor us.
Yeah.
We're just gonna get one drink, one beer beverage.
Yeah, we'll put it on, if they sponsor us, we'll put it on a little thumbnail on the channel. So
yeah, we'll have like a stack of them piling up for every episode.
yeah.
So, I mean, obviously this season we're doing the Halloween themed episodes. So we're horror anime, and I mean, this fit the bill.
Yeah.
This fit the bill. This is definitely a horror anime. When you brought it up, this is your first anime, right? That you got serious.
Legitimately my first anime,
Yeah.
yes, that I ever like. Besides,
like the basic, like Tsunami. Basics.
yeah. Anything outside Tsunami, I went out of my way to watch this anime. My very first anime I've ever watched.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was. I remember it being very good. It came out in 2004, so almost 20 years old.
Yeah,
19 now. So
it was a fantastic anime, Elfen Lied.
Yeah.
And a quick just breakdown of what Elfen Lied, like this little bit of synopsis. I mean, it really starts off with a young girl who's been captured, and she has supernatural abilities, and she wanders off, and she escapes, and really the journey starts with her and getting her back. And that's where we'll really start. I mean, before we get any deeper, do you have any background information before we give our ratings?
Sure. So, a little bit of background information. Had it backwards. So, Elfen Lied's a 13-episode anime adapted by Studio Arms and aired from July to October 2004. The anime finished airing before the manga was complete, so they have two different endings.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, I was kind of wondering about that. The ending's a little open-ended.
Yeah, it's not ambiguous. It's like open-ended.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
When Elfen Lied was being adapted into an anime series, the director Mamoru Kanbei was recommended to work on the series by the series composer Takao Yoshioka. Yoshioka believed Kanbei's general drawing style and composition would be an ideal adaptation to the manga, which was still in publication. Kanbei was actually reluctant about joining the production until he read the manga and decided he wanted to work on the series. So I thought that was pretty interesting. According to Kanbei, he considered Elfen Lied a love story, and he wanted to bring viewers to tears. So
pretty close.
Yeah, he does a pretty good job of that.
No cap. I got teary eye on some of the scenes.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what I got on a little background information I thought was interesting.
Arms. Now, do you know any other production from Arms? I'm putting you on the spot right now. I feel like I've seen that term before. Arms, like.
Okay, this is kind of outing me. The only one that I know of is Queen's Blade.
Oh, you got it.
If you guys know that one, it's a battle harem, if you want to call it that.
They don't do any other, like, I guess more mainstream ones.
Aesthetica or Rogue Hero, I recognize off this list. I haven't seen it though.
So no.
Yeah. Their most recent anime was called Shin Iki Tosen. I opened that up and it translates to battle vixens.
So, all right, yeah. I mean,
so they seem to be sticking with the theme here.
Yeah, they have a theme. They're definitely like harems and things like that
Yeah.
with this, where it's like male lead and five five guests.
House guest. Yeah.
Yeah, I was thinking of the term of cohabitants.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right. So I guess we could just jump right into the reviews.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and read some reviews.
You want to give ours first? Or you want to read theirs first?
Oh.
We normally give ours first.
Oh, do we? Okay.
Yeah, because
okay.
because that way we don't let them dictate
Okay.
ours.
Yeah. True.
Even though
True.
you've already read them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a surprise every time I read them to you. So.
Yeah, it's and we keep it genuine.
Yeah. I'll go ahead and start off with my review.
Go ahead. Yeah.
I'm gonna rate this 4 out of 5 edamames. Like I was entertained throughout. It held up well. I was actually really worried because I'd already seen it before that it wouldn't hold up. That my memory of this anime um wouldn't be as good because it was my first anime.
Yeah. So you've seen so many anime and you're still giving this a 4.5.
I was entertained. It was I wasn't at any point like thinking like, man, I shouldn't have picked this as rewatch. Like this is hard to get through. Like it was entertaining. I like the blood and gore and violence. Like I like those themes. I was actually really worried that the nudity would hold it back, but I didn't really find it too out of place. I don't know. You did? You found the nudity out of place?
Yes, but I'll get into that a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. So it was like, what did you not like? Like, why aren't you giving this like a perfect score? Is there a reason? Maybe it could be longer. Maybe the ending.
I felt some of the characters were a little two-dimensional. There was actually only like 2 characters I really liked,
okay.
and Bondo I actually really liked, and he's not a character I should like, but I liked how they portrayed him. Nana, I liked Nana. Don't really care for any others. Lucy had her moments, I guess, but other than that, the characters are kind of bland.
Okay, yeah, I'll give mine. Mine is actually a 4.25.
4.25. Okay.
The nudity really was not.
Yeah.
It was done tasteful for some scenes and just not needed for others.
I mean, it does have fan service elements, and it does feel. I guess the fan service feels out of place, but for the most part, the nudity is not like the main focus of it. Like they're not being naked just to be naked, unless you feel like that's what they're doing. But,
there was just some scenes that it just wasn't needed in like the way I was like.
Yeah.
The way I felt about it, like there were just some scenes like the slice of life part, I didn't need it.
Oh yeah, for
like,
sure.
Yeah, but when they're like, and I don't want to give any spoilers, but there were just some scenes that it made sense, like why they're naked, But other when they have like the slice of life like parts, it was like it wasn't needed.
I agree. Okay, I agree on that point.
Yeah.
I think that the nudity was a good contrast with the extreme graphicness of the rest of it.
Yeah, but I'm giving it a pretty high score. I would have given it more, but. I mean, of course, the music was phenomenal.
Yeah, I like the music.
The intro, I didn't like it, and you told me you're like, this is rumored to have the best intro ever.
Oh, you're talking about like the actual intro, like with the intro music and the graphics, or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't like it at first, and then I don't know what happened, but the music started to grow on me, and I'll touch base why that is, and just kind of it kept being reinforced. But the outro, and we talked about it was like teenage angst punk.
Yeah, yeah.
So I really like the music for it.
I think I said it could have been sung by or played by Avril Lavigne. Like
it was definitely an Avril Lavigne track to put on.
Yeah.
And so that the characters I liked most of them, but they introduced characters and then they kind of the way the characters, like the last scene of a character, I always look into that. And there's a couple of them that had a last scene, which I'll cover that when we get to them, but that it wasn't like memorable. If you didn't look for it, it was not. Like it looked like they should have had a different ending for their character. So it's like not just the character development, but like how are they ending characters?
Yeah.
So that also kind of got to me. There's a couple characters that I'll mention when we get to it. But I mean, it didn't age as bad as the way you made it seem. You were like, this might not be.
Well, I was thinking like when I watched it the first time, I was like, man, that was amazing. 5 out of 5 anime. Like I loved everything about it.
Yeah, this is definitely an anime I think I would recommend to like most people that really like the horror genre and like really want to get into an anime that's not really mainstream. And I think this is kind of has a cult following.
I think so too.
Yeah, it's one of those that people like everybody's probably. It's kind of like Death Note or with these other anime that are not like Dragon, like the big threes and things like that. They're just like, but everyone knows of them. Everyone knows about Elfen Lied. Everyone knows about Death Note. Everyone knows about these very like niche anime. But it was a really good anime. So 4.25 for me, and you said 4.5.
4.0. I said 4.0.
You said 4.0.
Yeah, I said 4.0.
You said 4.5.
Did I?
We're gonna have to go out and watch it. Are you going? All right. Well, what is it?
I'm pretty sure I gave it a 4.0.
Okay, we'll go with that.
Yeah,
then,
yeah.
Which is that's normal. Normally, I'll rate them higher than you.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well, let's get some reviews from some of these other cool cats. I'm extremely curious to see how they're gonna go about reviewing this because I think there was a lot of themes, and I want to see if anyone like goes after them.
Yeah, I found a few short ones. I was looking for shorter ones here. I'll go ahead and start off with a 9 out of 10 rating from ETG 1701. Uh, he states, violent, but for a very good reason. Elfen Lied is notorious, at least among fans of anime, for its graphic violence and frequent nudity. However, these aspects are merely part of what is in fact an excellent series. More than just an unsettling mix of cute little girls interposing gore, Elfen Lied is a series about nature versus nurture, love versus hate, the future of humanity, and similar themes. Yes, the show is quite violent, but this violence underscores these themes well, and as we later learn, is not merely just a product of instinctual brutality. With only 13 episodes in total, Elfen Lied is short but sweet and well worth watching. Just remember, you'll never look at cat girls the same way again.
Hmm. Those aren't ears.
Yeah, I actually was gonna say I didn't really tie in the cat girls with the Elfen Lied characters.
Yeah, they're not ears. They're
Yeah,
horns.
they're horns.
Yeah, I didn't. I was like more closely related to this picture right here, or that picture right there. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
So, I mean, it was. I like that he covered some heavy themes like
yeah.
love and hate and nature versus nurture, which is a really big part of it.
Hmm.
About and about really about nurturing this type of apex predator that
Yeah,
normally we wouldn't nurture, but
yeah,
we are. Yeah,
yeah.
that was a good one. I like it.
All right, all
Give me a bad one. Give me a really bad one.
right. All right.
Give me one where they always start off with, if I could give this a 0 out of 10, I would, but I have to give it 1 star.
All right. This guy rates it 2 out of 10. Mayanko 98676 states, stupid plot. Disappointing. Saw the series based on the hype, and I had read the manga ages ago, although I didn't remember much from the read besides the start being slow and the ending was amazing. Well, the anime is just a waste of time. The production focuses on shock, nudity, and gore without much emphasis given to the plot or the script. It's not able to play out the emotions, which are a strong center point of the manga, from what I can remember. In condensing this series, the anime loses out on a proper build-up. I felt like the anime tried to please too many genres which don't go together. I'm pretty sure harem and deepness don't go hand in hand. The only thing I liked about the series is the haunting melody, Lilium, and even that is an acquired taste.
Hmm. I mean, it definitely is not for everyone.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like
It's hard to disagree with him
yeah,
on the points he brings up.
yeah. I
But
mean, a lot of like the nudity again. That was like
yeah.
not a good selling point on my
Yeah.
part. And some scenes it was
Yeah.
necessary. The gore though, I think the gore was spot
Yeah,
on.
Gore is amazing.
Yeah,
Like
they did.
it's brutal the way they do some of
Oh
these
yeah, I
characters.
think it was definitely that's what it was meant to be.
Hmm.
So I mean, I won't talk too much smack about this one because again, this is a very niche anime, and you can see that people. I mean, maybe it's more of like a slice of life.
Yeah, for sure.
If he likes like demonic stuff, I don't think he probably one of the same people that would like Devilman Crybaby. Going about like the nudity and things and like the death in there, and
Yeah.
just really just going after like just face value things that most people don't like about anime.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I mean, I can't disagree. I mean, if you don't like it, you don't like it.
Yeah. I mean, doesn't like the violence, doesn't like the nudity, doesn't like the harem aspect, and then he wants it to be deep. So I could, yeah.
It was pretty deep.
Yeah, I agree. It was.
It
deep.
was really deep, and they did cover some themes. All right. Yeah.
Right.
So, any other information before we get into the spoiler section?
Nah. Although I do remember reading, the director said he wanted to make it longer than 13 episodes so that he could capture more of the emotional aspect of it. So, and he did read the manga. So,
Did you think it needed more, like another like more episodes?
I haven't read the manga.
No, but like off of this, the way we watched, like if you were just coming in watching the 13 episodes, would you be okay with 13 episodes?
I feel like the ending could have been expanded on, but then again, it wasn't finished.
I think the ending could be less expanded on.
Less expanded on.
Yeah, but that's kind of me being a little more like pretentious about it.
Yeah.
More like open endedness to it.
I guess there were a few things that weren't ever touched on again once they were touched on, but
Yeah.
overall,
All right.
nah. Like if you were to tell me it didn't need to be 24 episodes, I don't think so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
Again, I don't really think anime, and we all know this, has some of the best storytelling in just modern
Yeah,
media.
it's a very unique medium that can tell all kinds of stories. So
And it's like it's super specific, and you don't get that in any other media, anything, any news story, any movie, any show. It's deep. It doesn't need 7 episodes of 7 seasons of Young Sheldon to like it needed 13 episodes, and I think it did a really good job.
yeah, I agree.
All right, well, let's get into the spoiler section. So if you have not watched Elfen Lied, we're warning you,
Yeah,
spoiler time.
spoilers. We
watch
watched
it.
it. We watched it on Anime Prime, Amazon.
Amazon Prime.
Amazon.
Yeah. It's on Amazon Prime. So, all right, spoiler alert, guys. Come back after you watch it and let us know what you think.
Yeah.
All right, so let's get into this whole intro scene really quick because this is probably one of the coolest scenes.
Oh yeah.
It's just so damn good.
I agree. I agree.
I was just so blown away. If you like action, you like gore, you like a little nudity, this scene's for you. And it starts off really well. I mean, and the intro music, of course, was good, but I mean, we already touched on that. But like, it's just jumping into the very beginning of this like lab setting where there's something out there that's getting out,
Yeah.
and they're trying to contain it.
Yeah. Like it's just like overall such a cool scene. Like it's like an emergency happening. Like the alarms are going off. Like you just see a bunch of like soldiers like setting up, and then it's just like wave after wave of soldiers is just trying to stop the main character, which her name is Lucy, and it's just like she's just mowing through them all.
She's
like
slaughtering everyone in
brutal.
every single person she's doing it, and it definitely, but it felt like a horror anime. It felt like a sci-fi horror anime, and that's what we're going for right now. That's exactly what we're going for.
Yeah.
Is this horror anime aspect, and they did a really good job of that. Yeah, but that first, 5 minutes.
Yeah, it's a good scene. I think if most people have ever even seen a clip of Elfenline, it's probably from this first 5 minutes.
Yeah, it was just so good.
Yeah.
Like, we didn't need any story. There's no story yet to be told.
Yeah.
It's just us just watching.
She's like killing people with pencils, like, and it even shows like the ruthless aspect of her because she's like murdering like innocents as well.
Oh yeah, she murdered like the clumsy
Yeah.
assistant.
Yeah.
Like it was not needed. Like just like wrong time, just wrong place, wrong time, and just gets murked.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great.
Yeah.
It good.
One of the scenes from this first 5 minutes that like gave me chills is like they're like she's like riding up the elevator, right, and like all the guards are setting up like, and they know she's coming, and then like the doors open up and she's just like crouched down, like holding herself like around her knees, and they're just all unloading on her. Like I thought that was really cool. Like
oh yeah, like made her seem vulnerable.
Yeah,
You're the one that's vulnerable.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that was actually a really cool scene. That whole escape scene, and the way it even ended with like the sniper basically blowing off her helmet to reveal that she has this like luscious pink hair, and then she falls in the water to wash ashore.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I didn't.
One of the cool things I thought, I don't know if you caught this. So like there's the director, right? Like she's murdering everyone around like the director, and she like walks past him and touches him on the back. Like she could have killed him but decided not to. And I was like throughout the entire anime, I was always wondering about that scene.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah,
You're right.
She touches him on the back.
Yeah. Yeah, and that I didn't even catch that. Yeah, you're right. And that'll come back full force later.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I didn't like how like so we get now like this to a scene of Kouta, the main, I guess the MC of the whole thing,
Yeah.
Lucy, and then we get his like cousin Yuka, and she washes upon shore, and they see her, and it just sounds so coincidental.
Yeah,
because they have history that they don't even know yet. So that was kind of like I understand the story there,
Mhm.
like it had to go, and I get it, but it just always seemed me like super coincidental.
Yeah.
But one of the things I liked, and you told me that it might have changed because Amazon Prime,
Mhm.
that they're now in college.
Yeah.
You were saying that you remember them being like in high school, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Which is, I mean, I don't doubt
We
they did that.
watched the English dub. I think legitimately, if I'm not correct, I think like the Japanese go to college when they're 17. So
Oh, okay. So
17,
yeah,
18.
we're in America, so
yeah.
but yeah. One of the things that I like is that they have free housing. That's actually a thing. You know that, right? In Japan,
I did not
it's
know
called Akiya. I wrote it down.
Oh.
They don't say it. It's actually called Akiya. Japan government will give you free property that's been abandoned from like rural areas. They'll give you actual free property that really, I mean, it's free, but obviously you got to fix it up. But it's called Akiya.
Yeah.
Isn't that the coolest thing ever? And they just, that was back then. I'm surprised that it's not even popular now.
Yeah. No, I didn't know. That's pretty interesting.
Yeah, so that was really cool. So I'll say this. I don't know. I'm sure this is on episode one, but by the way, episode one is called. Do you have the name for it?
A chance encounter.
Okay, a chance encounter. Um, Lucy is has to use the restroom.
Oh yeah. Also Lucy's like, since she took the bullet to the head, she's like reverted to like this like childlike state where she can't even really speak and has
Yeah.
like the mental faculties of like
Yeah. Like a kid,
yeah,
like a
yeah,
little child.
yeah,
Yeah, so she's very like almost like no speech except
yeah.
like small noises here and there, and they call her new.
New,
Yeah,
yeah.
they call her new now. So I'm gonna call her Lucy. Although it could be that new and Lucy are kind of they're basically two different people.
They are.
So I'll be referring back and forth between them. So just bear with me. But yeah, she has to use the restroom and she just squats down and uses it. That was kind of like I don't think I needed
That's
that.
pretty unneeded, yeah.
Yeah, I didn't need that. That was one of those things. I was like, okay.
Like peeing all over the floor, yeah.
And then we get a really cool outro at this scene. I'm not sure if I'm skipping ahead of kind of a repeating villain.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah, we get to meet Bondo,
Yeah.
who is a pretty solid. He's like an anti-hero.
Yeah. He's someone that you just like they straight up show him as a piece of shit, but like kind of I don't know. For me, he grew on me as the show went on.
He had some redeeming.
Yeah, he does have a
throughout.
little. Yeah,
like his character development was pretty solid with him.
yeah,
I'll touch base on him later, but just the fact that like he was like the guy that he reminds me of, like, and I've always mentioned this as like the characters I really like his Kenpachi. You know, like he doesn't care about living or dying.
yeah.
He just wants a challenger. He wants someone to rival his skills.
Yeah, yeah.
And you know, he gets that, and I was so happy because he just sounds like a guy that's gonna keep coming back.
Yeah.
He's like not to be killed.
Yeah, no, he's definitely like he wants the challenge so bad that he's just a piece of shit. Like he's over there like in his training, like they're like, why'd you bring this guy in here? Like he's a monster, and he's over there like intentionally shooting like the women in his training. Like he's got like a little simulator, and the dude's like, what are you doing? And he's just like, oh, well, what's the point of having them there if I can't shoot them?
Yeah,
right?
he's like just a POS dude.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I even wrote that, but I put Bondo sucks.
Yeah, I put Bondo psychopath.
Yeah, okay, I see that one more. Yeah. So that leads us into this episode number 2. Did you get that? Annihilation, right? Annihilation. That's the episode 2, and we get kind of a little bit about Bondo, but this is where we get introduced to the police.
Yeah, the police a little bit. I kind of didn't care for the police. Like they were just like secondary characters. Like
I actually I felt like they had more investment, and I'll talk about them a little bit later, but they really just kind of popped up, and I thought they actually had like they knew secrets. They knew I think they had more to it, but
maybe, but
that's one of the reasons I didn't rate it so high is because like they seemed like they knew some stuff, but really they didn't.
Yeah,
they were just literally police officers that were just terrible at their job.
Yeah. Honestly, all the notes I wrote down are just all about Bondo. Like Bondo was the star of episode 2.
Oh yeah, he was definitely the star. I mean, really, just like his initial meeting with Kouta was really cool.
Yeah, well, honestly, like I think it opens up and they're like in the helicopter and he's just being like a huge dick to everybody. Like he's like pointing guns at the other people, like his other fellow soldiers, and like opening the helicopter door like before
just leaping out like no shoot. He's just invincible. Just hops out of a moving helicopter.
Dude thought he was Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He was definitely the main character of that, or the main like subject of that episode. Yeah. But we really get him just being a badass, just getting this fight with. He messes up Kouta. He takes no directives, listens to no one. Yeah. By the way, even one of the scenes I thought was kind of funny is that one of the guys that he's partnered with, like he ends up like putting him, like knocking him out, and later on that guy comes back and he's like arrest him, like he's like giving him orders after he just like. Yeah. So I was like, all right, Bondo, chill out. We get a little more about kind of Lucy's powers. I mean, it introduces that she has these invisible hands, and they can go up to about 2 meters, right?
It's something. I put maybe.
Yeah, I don't know. I put 2 meters. So whatever the case may be, but yeah, we get that, and it kind of starts off with this. Koda's in the hospital, and the police go talk to him. Don't give a shit about him. Yeah. Like.
Oh well, doesn't Bono beat him up?
Yeah, he needs. Bono beats him up. Fucks him up. He knees him in the stomach. Yeah, he just beat up kids.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He finds so like the Lucy or whatever, like runs away from home, and Kouta goes to run to the beach to find him, and
Yeah.
they finds her, and then who's there but Bondo and this dude, and so Bondo's over there just beating the shit up out of Kouta,
Yeah.
and then like he like drags New off too, right? Like grabs her by the foot or the hair, and is just like walking off down the beach with her.
Yeah, because he wants her to like fight
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
So yeah, so that was really Bondo. We get kind of a weird scene. We keep getting like reoccurring images of Koto's sister, and
yes,
it kind of ends with Mew breaking a shell, and then that's whenever like we get a flashback about why he was really upset because, and actually I think that's why she ran off in the first place.
yeah. Well, that was in episode 1. She breaks the shell,
Oh,
and that's why
okay.
she runs off to the beach.
Oh, and then she gives him a shell at the end. That's why
And
I
then
wrote that.
she gives him the shell. Yeah, but yeah, but there was actually a really dope ass fight scene between Bondo and
Yes.
Lucy after he finally wakes her up.
Yeah.
Like he's like, okay, you can kill her now. Like after he's been beating the shit out of her, and of course he rocks her in the head, and she turns from New to Lucy, and he's like trying to like smoke up a cigarette, and then he's like telling his the the partner or whatever.
That he already knocked out earlier.
Yeah. The guy he was knocking out earlier. Yeah. He's like, okay, you can kill her now. And then like as like he's about to do it, he just like explodes and blood flies all over Bondo, and that's kind of the start of the fight.
Yeah, you know how that scene could have gone better is like if he was facing them and he had the lighter and the blood just put out his light and it was just like,
Yeah,
that would have
I,
kind of
I would have liked that.
actually,
Yeah.
yeah, that would have been pretty dope. But yeah, we get a cool fight scene where and
Yeah.
it really does. It shows how cool like vicious Lucy is, but
Yeah.
it really showed me how badass Bondo
Yeah,
is.
yeah.
He's
Bondo
just
is
like,
a
yeah,
legit badass.
he's
Yeah.
also like learning and stuff.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
he's learning about what she's doing,
Yeah.
and it's just a good scene. And there's even a scene where like he actually gets pretty messed up. I forgot like what happened.
Like
He like what like the damage that's done to him.
yeah, well, he's like talking shit to Lucy, and then like he loses, and he's like telling her he's gonna kill him, and so like Lucy gets over him, like pins him on the ground, like standing over him, like looking down on him. That's also a recurring scene over and over and over where
Yeah.
Lucy's standing over Bondo,
Yeah.
and she blinds him, pokes out both of his eyes, cuts off. I think both of his arms. I'm not too sure. At least one of his arms. He
Yeah.
cuts off his arm that's holding the gun, and then he blinds him, and then she's about to kill him, and I don't.
Yeah, I don't remember.
I think she like sees the shell, or she just has like a random flashback, and so like so Bondo's like laying on the fucking beach, like thinking he's dead, but he's like incapacitated, and then that's when the homeless girl, Mayu, comes up and finds
comes
him.
up and basically gives him a tourniquet and,
Yeah,
and basically saves his life.
yeah,
So
saves
really,
his life.
yeah. So that was a really good
Yeah.
scene, and that also comes back later.
Yeah, and honestly, at that moment, I knew Bondo would be back. Like,
Yeah,
you didn't kill him.
If
Yeah.
you don't kill someone on screen, they're coming back.
Yeah.
In anime, that's just the way it goes, and it ends with a funny scene. Basically, uh, he's like dressing, Niu. He's like dressing her, and then Yuka shows up, and he's like, it's like baby, like,
Oh, yeah.
and that's where it ends. And I thought it was just really funny.
Yeah, they also briefly introduced number 7 because like there's also like number 7, which is Nana. She's like in the thing, and then the director, Karma, same director who gets the hand touched on his back, like walks up and is like, and she's like Papa, and like the episode ends.
Yeah, yeah, and that's where we get number 7, which is, and we'll give her a name later because she does get a name, but as of right now, she's number 7 does. So yeah, and that was a really cool scene, and you got to think about like how, like these, and they we'll get their names a little bit, but I just don't want to skip too far ahead. But you get these, these, to them, these monsters that are just captured. They have no one to talk to, no one to be around. They can't be around anyone up to a certain amount of meters. And
Yeah.
this one guy that talks to her every day, that treats her kind of like like a child, and like
Yeah.
and really he's not like saving her. She's still being tortured.
Yeah.
But
Yes.
he is like offering her like salvation.
Yeah.
And like just letting her move on and things like that. But that to me was like, why it was like where you feel victimized to a point where you're just going with your aggressor.
Stockholm syndrome.
Yes, Stockholm syndrome.
Yeah.
So that's why I really like number 7.
Yeah.
And we actually get their names too. They call them Diclonius.
Yeah, Diclonius. So it's revealed what Lucy and these monsters that they have in captivity.
The Diclonius. I had a really hard time following like the sickness and things like that.
Yeah.
But basically the Diclonius, they don't live long enough to cause damage. They die really young.
Mm,
Now,
see, I didn't get the reveal of it all until like the very end, like
yeah,
at the very, very end. I knew it was like some kind of disease or sickness, and like that's like the whole point of the research is to like get to the bottom of it. But
yeah,
yeah,
but there's so much more than that. Um, but we know that mankind is at. I
yeah,
put that mankind is now at like they're threatened by
yeah,
this
yeah.
breed of horned girls.
Hmm.
Oh no, there's boys too. Yeah,
Was
yeah,
there?
yeah. There's two boys.
I didn't catch that.
Well, they're not. They're men. Two men.
Oh,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I didn't know.
yeah.
Yeah, we'll get to that too. But yeah, there are other people with horns, and yeah, one of the big things I wrote here in my notes is that jealousy is a huge theme with this entire anime.
Yeah.
From start to finish, jealousy is continuously coming back over and over again. This idea of being envious for the love interest, being
Yeah.
envious for like that's you're my papa.
Yeah.
Like it was like so much like envy between the cast.
Yeah. Almost every single one of the cast experience that. I don't even know if I can name one that doesn't. Maybe
I'm trying to think of the
maybe
director.
Kouta. I don't know. Like I don't know if Koda's envious, but
I don't think. Yeah, but he's like the one.
main, yeah.
He's the reason for like most of them being
yeah,
envious.
yeah,
But yeah, so that was just a whole. I now bring that up as we go along.
yeah. And talking about the Diclonius, like all they mention is that it's a genetic infection. Like they're gonna wipe out the human race due to some kind of gene or virus that they're transporting around. But yeah, then we get like a scene where Bondo's on like a table, right? And they're like turning him into like
RoboCop.
Yeah.
It's the movie RoboCop right there.
It was actually funny. It made me laugh because like the dude's like, all right, now we're gonna castrate you, and Bondo's like, what? And then like
why did they need to do that? They didn't need
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah, I think he like pistol whips the dude like so he doesn't get castrated. But
They
yeah,
did not need to do that.
yeah.
Yeah. What was that episode called, anyways?
Deep feelings.
Deep feelings.
And I think it's called this because the dichotomy between like Nana and the director calling her Papa.
Yeah.
And then I don't know, there were some weird scenes with like Yuka and Kota. Like Yuki was getting jealous over Kota and you. Like it was like just deep feelings.
And this one ended actually pretty good. And I had to watch this twice because first time we watched it, we came back from Applebee's. Well, too lit. So I had to rewatch this one, but it ends on a really good. It ends at number 7 running into Lucy at the staircase. And what I really like is that number 7's wearing her the tie.
Yeah,
wearing a tie over her ears, and I just thought it was really funny because she was like, "Can I have your tie?" Like,
yeah. So Nana's actually sent to go kill Lucy. Like,
well,
and they know it's a suicide mission. Like they don't think she can win at all. They just want to reveal Lucy's location.
Yeah. It was because she said she'll never kill Lucy.
Yeah.
She said I can't kill her, and then he was just like, "Just find her and then call me."
Yeah.
And then that's when we get to this next episode, which is called actually Attack, which is a great
Attack.
Attack, because really it's Lucy versus number 7.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, it was a great scene.
Which we know number 7's name is Nana now because the chief Papa calls her Nana, but yeah.
Really? I thought they gave her that name. I thought Miyu gave her that name.
New? I don't believe
no,
so.
No, Miyu.
Oh, Mayu?
Mayu, yeah. I thought Mayu gave her that name.
I don't know.
Did you write that in there?
No, I said Mayu recognizes Coda from Coda's music box, but
I'll point it out if I get to that in my notes. But we get a sick ass fight, and we also get during this fight there's they're going back and forth, and number 7 was like, I don't want to kill you,
Mm-hmm.
But man, she gets messed up.
Yeah, she does. Honestly, what I thought was kind of cool about this fight is that Lucy is like, I've never killed my own species before. Like, I don't plan to now, but don't think I won't. Like, she's only ever killed humans at this point, and now there's the two Diclonius fighting each other. So I thought that was a kind of cool detail.
Yeah, and Lucy doesn't give a shit.
Yeah, Lucy
does not give a shit. Like, she gets number 7 gets distracted, and Lucy uses that to her advantage, and just basically makes her just takes off all the limbs, like all of them.
Yeah, just brutally.
Just the torso was around.
Yeah.
And that was so awesome, man. And then she ends up pushing Mayu out of and then that's where we get like Mayu's no longer in there. Yeah, I put just a limbless corpse.
Yeah. What was actually hard for me to watch is like after like Nana is losing and Lucy's dismembering her like one limb at a time. She's like crying out like Papa, like it hurts, like please stop. Like it was tough for me to watch.
Which I like how this episode ended, and I don't know if you caught this. You probably did as well, but like the scene is whoever is head of the research.
Which is the Chief Karama.
No,
Yeah.
no, like the one that tells Chief Kurama to kill.
Oh,
Yeah, I don't know his
okay.
name,
Yeah,
but
I don't know his name.
he has a whatever it is yeah. I don't know if man, he's important.
I'm sure his name's up here.
Yeah.
Uh, Kakuzawa.
Kakazawa
Yeah.
says like, oh, the mission, she was a failure. She's not used. Like, get rid of her, kill her,
Yeah, yeah.
kill her. And the scene that really like hit home was he said like, we're gonna put you to sleep and we're gonna fix you or something like that. And Nana says, um, she knows she's dying, and she says, goodbye, Papa. Like
Yeah,
she knew
she knew,
she
yeah.
knew that she was gonna die.
Yeah.
And also that I think that was kind of I'm not sure if it's a hearing thing, but they could they knew stuff that were being said behind closed doors.
Yeah, yeah.
So I don't know, they never got touched on, but I was just like, she knew she was gonna die.
Yeah.
And it was like that's and that's where it kind of ends on that episode.
I actually wrote sad as hell. That made me tear up. Like that was like, yeah, she's like gonna get put down. Like he's gonna put her down like a dog because the director tells the chief to do it, and there's that relationship like trust thing, and yeah, that was
sad, man.
Yeah.
I was like, it's like and it actually it relates to him more.
Yeah.
Later on.
Yeah.
So we get that, and then the next episode is called Receipt. We get a sort of Mayu.
Yeah, it's Mayu's backstory.
Mayu's backstory is so sad, man.
Yeah.
And that's such a reality that people don't realize. As that happens so much. She's adopted by a family, by a guy, like a man went in there and said, I like that girl.
Mm-hmm.
And basically made her undress multiple times.
Yeah, he's abusing her.
It doesn't show anything too graphic, just her undressing, which is uncomfortable already.
Yeah, very uncomfortable.
Very uncomfortable. And one of the things that's actually an issue that I see that's really it's an actual big time issue is that when they go to like tell the mom, or in this case, she went to go tell the mom, she basically just gets slapped.
Yeah. She like the mom's angry at her.
Yeah, like you're the problem. Like he doesn't want me, he wants you. Like he should want me, but he wants you. He wants a little girl. And like that Mayu's backstory was so sad.
Yeah,
man.
that was a terrible backstory.
And then guess who gets to go to college? The gang goes to college. Yeah.
Kouta and the cousin?
Kouta and Yuka, and also Niu go to college.
Oh yeah.
They go to college, and then we get to see the what's his name? Not Kawazawa.
It's the director's son who's he's like a researcher.
No, it's not the guy that's not head of research, but the one that runs the facility.
Well, so you're talking about Kakuzawa's son, the director that tells him to kill him, his son. Because I wrote right here that the professor knows Niu, like the professor. Yeah. That dude's the director's son that tells the chief to kill Nana. That's his son. And that's how she recognizes
Okay,
Lucy.
I'm getting director and chief wrong. Director's top over chief.
Yes.
Okay, yeah, it's the director's son.
Yeah, the director, as far as I'm concerned, doesn't even have a name. Well, they share it's Kakuzawa. It's like Professor Kakuzawa, and then the director's also Kakuzawa because of the son.
Yeah, let's just go director and Professor Kakuzawa.
Yeah.
So yeah, and we get introduced to him, and he's fucked. Yeah, he recognizes Lucy immediately. He says, I'm her long lost uncle, cousin.
Yeah, something like that.
We're related. Her family's missing, and he basically levies that like, you guys basically kidnapped her. I'm just glad she's safe. I won't tell the cops.
Yeah.
Leave her with me. I'll call her family to come get her.
Yeah.
And then he's just like has his own like agenda.
Yeah.
And I really, he has this evil plan of like Adam and Eve type plan where he's going to make babies with her.
Yeah, yeah.
And that was her whole point, is like breeding, that he's gonna change the world and take over humanity.
Yeah.
And that's
it's actually on this point in time where it's actually revealed that he's the one who released Lucy in episode 1. Like it was his like machinations that let her get out of the facility, and like he opened the doors for her.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
I didn't write that down, but you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
Yeah, and of course, right?
Like he's like trying to do it right. Like he's like
right then and
like,
there.
Are you ready?
He's like lecture over.
Yeah.
I got other stuff to do.
Yeah, time to become Adam and you Eve.
Yeah.
And then she regains her memory, and what do you know?
Just
fucking does him in.
Yeah, just take this decapitates his head completely off, and then of course Kouta's like, I want to come back, and actually, but we didn't even say there was a huge twist here. Huge twist.
What's that?
He takes off his wig and he's a Diclonius.
Oh yeah,
we're skipping.
I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, there's a huge. I don't know what the hell is going on. Yeah. He's also Diclonius. He whips off that wig and he's a Diclonius as well.
He's got little baby horns.
Yeah, he has little baby horns, and it makes me wonder. It's like kind of like female praying mantis, how they're like the alphas, queen bees of the alphas.
Yeah,
and then we have him with his little baby ass horns, and we get to see him being creepy as hell, and of course he gets beheaded.
Yeah.
And so that was a huge twist. I didn't expect that. So when we get that death of the professor, and that's where I think it ends. I don't know if you have anything else on that.
I just have they kill the professor. I think the next episode is like the scene we're about to talk about.
Good.
I don't know. I wrote Bondo is alive at the end of episode 6, which
I wrote that in the beginning of episode 6. In the beginning of episode 6.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wrote that robot assassin. That's what I wrote.
Yeah, I think he's like back together now. Like
they have that unlikely. They have that run-in with Mayu, that unlikely friendship.
Where
she's like, "You saved me. You get one favor."
Yeah.
And then she's like, "I want to cash in my favor now." And I didn't really get that scene. To me, it didn't make any sense. But I really liked that. I was kind of hoping he'd have a change of heart. Like he would be like, Mayu is so nice and she has no family. I have no. I relate. Like maybe they go and be dad and son or something, or dad and daughter or something.
Yeah,
did not happen.
Yeah,
that did not happen.
Yeah. Basically, what happens in the beginning of the episode is like Kouta actually walks in and he's with the I guess the dude with the horns, his assistant. Like I forget why the fuck Koda's even there, but they walk in and see the dead professor Lucy.
He's going to get. He goes to get New.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he goes back to get New because he wasn't. He didn't like. He didn't.
Okay. Yeah.
He just wanted to check on her.
Yeah.
And then that's when it's revealed. Like the research assistant's like he doesn't have a family or anything like that. Or he doesn't have like a brother. Or something.
Okay.
So that's why I went back.
Yeah, and they both walk in, and it's like I don't even think New's there. I think it's just the dead dude professor.
The dead professor, he's there, and like we get this like the she is so awesome. The research assistant is so awesome to me. She's one of my favorite characters in the show. She's right there to the very right. No, that's not her. That's not her.
No, I was gonna say
she was such a good character because like she had this like
Arakawa is
Arakawa. Like she had like was just helping with the research, but she knew things.
Yeah.
She did things, and I don't know if it's in this episode or next, but there's a scene where she goes to meet with like the director and like discuss the situation, and I think that's later on. But
I think that's later on too. Yeah.
So we'll keep that. Also, we get to know that number 7 is alive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 7 is alive. Nana. Yeah, she lives.
She lives. They let her go. Well, secretly let her go. And it gives her a bunch of money, and she's just out and about.
And she gets the Bondo treatment. She's got all her limbs back.
Well,
she's like a cyborg thing now.
See, it doesn't touch on that. She's robotic. Like he actually has like robotic ligaments, and like her, it's like detachable arms.
Yeah.
So it doesn't say that, but I'm assuming it's robotic shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we get that, and I think this is the romance.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, this is the romance scene. We get a really nice embrace.
Yeah,
we get a nice embrace of love, and I love. I was so surprised because most anime, what they do is they string it along for a good while with nothing happening.
Yeah.
This one, it was episode 6. Episode 6, we get this really nice embrace where Yuka, his cousin.
Yeah, this one's actually called Innermost Feelings.
Admits that she likes him, and she's like, but you like New, and you want to be with New, and he's like, I like you too, and they kiss.
Yeah, they had like a long ass makeout session.
Yeah, it was such a good. I liked the scene. It was just not that they're cousins. I didn't really like that, but I feel like that's for some reason maybe it's always brought up that they're cousins.
Yeah,
they were actually cousins, like legit cousins. That his dad is her uncle.
Yeah,
but
she's like replacing the childhood friend. I don't know what they're going for.
But either way, just if you could look past that,
Yeah.
do your best. It's just so romantic to me, and I just love that. Like I love a good embrace like that, and it just is like everything she ever wanted is happening right now.
Yeah.
And I hate to break everyone's heart, but that's it.
Yeah, they never touch on this again.
They never touch on this really
other
again.
than like very slight alliterations to it, like because like well, I'd be skipping ahead, but like someone calls them like they're like father and mother. That's like the most it ever goes after that. Also, I don't know if you caught this, but they run into Niu, right? And there's like this weird ass like romance aspect between like Kouta and Niu after that, like at the very very end of the episode.
And then she goes, "I'll let you have this one," and walks off.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very odd.
Yeah.
Very odd.
Yeah.
That's all I got for episode 6. We can go into episode 7, which is called Confrontation.
Mm-hmm.
This is where I get really upset with this.
You get upset with it?
I get upset with it. This is knocked off points. The memory loss aspect of it is never really explained. Now, granted, I can put the pieces together and know that Kouta has had some trauma.
Kouta, yeah.
Yeah, but every time he has, like, I guess, traumatic, like, trauma happening,
Mm-hmm.
he always forgets it. He, like, represses it so much.
Yeah.
And I get that that's what they're going for, but, like, it's so common now that's happening. And they don't even touch on it later.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't remember walking in and seeing the professor not have a head. He doesn't address it later on, but he knows of it. He never addresses it, though. And I didn't really like that.
Yeah, I actually didn't really touch on that, but yeah, you're right.
Yeah.
They do. Episode 7 actually begins with Bondo meeting Nana on the beach, and he's got his 50 cal pistol with his souped up robo body.
Yeah.
And he like all he wants to do is find Lucy, and like Nana is like, I'm a good girl, like I'm listening to Papa, like he saved my life, like I'm gonna go live a good life, and he's just over there like torturing her, like beating her up, like shooting her in the arms and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And then she like finally decides to retaliate.
And that's where we get like something kind of interesting, because we get the idea that like she is powerful and all that, but like also Nana and Bondo have the same like enemy.
Yes. They realize that they both have a common enemy, and then they kind of like have like a weird team up. Like I kind of like that aspect.
It would be, they could have done a whole spinoff on that. Yeah. Like the friend of my friend is my enemy, you know. Yeah. But the enemy of my friend, whatever they think is.
Yeah. What made me laugh about that interaction is a few things. Like I actually like that scene where it's like Bondo's on the ground, like he loses his fight, and he like. It's like a draw because he like shoots Nana in the head or like grazes her head, but his like robot arm can't take the recoil from the 50 cal, so it's like a draw. And like Nana's upset because she's hurt and bleeding and doesn't want to feel pain. But afterwards they're talking it out and they realize Lucy's the common enemy, and she's like, "Here, I'll help you up." And he like goes to grab the hand and like the arm pops off. Like I thought that was a good comedic relief scene.
Yeah, it was funny because she actually says, I'll help you up, not because I'm your friend, but because you can't get up or something like that.
Yeah.
She has like a statement before she helps him up, and I thought that was really funny.
Yeah. She also, so like Bondo's like, "All right, well, here's my number. Like, call me if you need anything, or call me if you need Lucy." And Nana's like, "What's a cell phone?" Like, that was also really funny to me.
Yeah. Nana was like a big part of the comedic relief.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nana and Niu were big comedic reliefs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Is that episode 7 still?
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I guess another comedic relief factor is like, you know, Nana meets up with Mew, right? Or not Mew, Mayu. Like Nana's like walking around. She's got like a briefcase full of money, and she's like doesn't know what to do. So
she doesn't know it's even money.
Yeah, she doesn't know what money is.
Yeah, so we don't even like, she's like starving but has money, but she can't pay for stuff because she doesn't know that it's money.
Yeah, and so like she's like in like the graveyard where her and Lucy fight. And she's like got like a fire going, and it turns out she's actually been burning all her cash, and that's when Mayu walks up and sees him.
Yeah, so I thought it was kind of funny, you know, like you burn to live and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You burn like the money just to stay like warm, and then Mayu's in there just being Mayu, like knowing the same situation, like I don't have a home and I found one, bringing her back to the to like the lodging, the Kouta lodging.
Yeah, so they befriend each other, and she's like, "Well, come back to my place, like I know people who will help you."
Yeah,
and
like
so
come eat dinner with us.
Yeah.
And then as soon as she opens the door,
She sees Lucy.
She leaves and just starts throwing hands
Yeah.
on sight.
Yeah.
Nana said on sight, and she starts throwing hands. And they break it up, of course, and now we get into episode 8, which is called The Beginning. And Kouta, Kouta just slaps the shit out of her.
Yeah.
Just backhands her.
Oh, yeah,
just slaps Nana in the face. Like, why would you hurt my friend?
Mm-hmm.
Just backhands her. And that's not the only girl he backhanded.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of backhanding with Kouta. So yeah, that's what happens. And there's a scene after the slap that I want to bring up. Is the research assistant gets dropped off at the director's office.
Yeah.
And she's carrying around the head of the decapitated professor.
Yeah.
Just walking around with, like, so that's why I was like, she's awesome because, like, she's such a trooper. Like, bringing the head.
Yeah. She's also like, can I go home now? Like, after she, like, delivers the head, and the guy's like, no, like, actually, I'm a fucking...
Well, that's later on in episode, like, 11 or something.
No, I have it on episode 8. The director has after she gives him the thing, she, like, reveals that he has the professor's head.
And he shoots her.
And he
says,
shoots
you
her.
work for me.
Yeah.
Like, keep a secret. And basically her whole job is to go through the entire, like, student directory to find out the guy that she saw. But there's some more with her. And I'll also talk about character development with her later on.
Yeah, he also reveals that he's not trying to make a vaccine for the virus. He's also, like, doing what his son wanted to do and, like, play God, like, and make, like, the future of the human race. And he's also got the little horns. I don't know if they reveal it right there.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
They don't. The next scene is that he shoots her in the arm, and she goes up to, like, go finish her off. And then she goes, anonymous virgin scientist gonna die.
Yeah.
And then he goes, you want to live? And he basically lets her live.
Yeah.
It doesn't reveal that he also has horns, but it was implied. His son has horns, where it's implied that he also has horns. And I was just waiting for the reveal on that.
Yeah. So it actually has, like, this kind of odd scene. I found this one odd. So, like, Nana throws hands on New, right? The mistaken identity, but not really. She's got, like, this weird fever or some shit.
Yeah. Right. Like, after they throw hands, like, she goes into, like, some type of, like, like comatose state.
Catatonic. Yeah. She's, like, too weak to even move and shit. And I said that it's, like, it was odd seeing, like, Lucy portrayed as, like, not being bloodthirsty, as, like, being vulnerable. Like, she's, like, recognizing Kouta and, like, blushing a lot and stuff. Like, it was kind of, like, odd characterization. Like,
like, it's not in her character to even be like that. But also, like, why did she get sick?
Yeah,
like,
I don't know.
What made her get sick? Like, they threw hands and she got sick. And, you know, Kouta got sick early on in, like episode 2.
Yeah.
Like, and which was a funny scene but it showed him going out in the rain and getting her.
Yeah.
We don't know why, why she got sick after throwing hands.
It's basically like the setup for the flashback. So this episode's called The Beginning. So Lucy is sick on the bed and she's, like, seeing Kouta. And so she flashbacks to her childhood.
Yes.
Which I actually really, really liked this second half of the episode.
The second half of this episode is so good. Yeah. It shows her, like, in this orphanage scenario where, like, she's basically getting bullied for having the horns.
Yeah. She's, like, the pariah. Like, no one likes her. Like, the teachers are talking shit. The kids are talking shit. She's getting actively bullied. And she makes one single friend while she's here. Right.
Fucking A, bro.
Yeah.
That scene pissed me off. I had to stop watching after this.
Yeah.
So basically, she makes this one friend.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, oh, yes. And she has, like, a real friend, right?
Yeah, real friend,
A real friend. She also finds, like, a puppy that she's been, like, nurturing, feeding.
Yeah.
And she finds this one friend, and her one friend goes, you got a puppy? That's so awesome. I'll give him some of my food, too. So you're not, like, and you trust her.
And Lucy goes and shows her where the puppy is, right? Because, like, Lucy's, like, hiding the puppy off into the woods.
Yeah.
Like, you know, so that...
The bullies.
Because she knows the bullies will mess with her.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, my God. Yeah, I was set off.
Yeah, that was...
so what happens is the bullies bring that puppy. And then that friend is there. And she's like, what are you going to do to that puppy? And he's like, you're the one that told me where it was.
Mm-hmm.
And then they start beating the shit out of this little puppy.
Yeah.
Like, look at Charles. Smaller than this cat right here. Starts beating. And then there's even a scene where it's like, oh, man, he's not moving no more.
Yeah, no, it was hard to watch.
Over.
Yeah.
I was livid, bro. At not just the bullies. I was. but I was super livid at the friend. Like
Oh yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
like she knew they were gonna do that. That's why she was like, I'll keep them a secret. No, whatever. And guess what happens? I'm not gonna say murder is justifiable in any case, but this one scene,
Like you,
yeah,
you empathize with Lucy. You don't even blame her for
yeah,
like.
Lucy as a little girl paints the whole room red.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, everyone dies.
All four of them, even her one friend she has.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not gonna justify that murder's right, but like that scene was pretty like
Mm-hmm.
dark, and it shows why Lucy doesn't really like doesn't understand humans,
Yeah,
because he just every human that ever interacted with us except one, Coda,
yeah,
has always been vicious, have been where they're just terrible people.
yeah. She doesn't understand why. Yeah, like why she gets treated like shit. Like even she says, like I'm okay being alone. Like I don't need friends. And then the one time she lets her guard down, they go, her other best friend is killed. Man's best friend.
Yeah. So that's what I got for episode.
Yeah,
Eight.
the episode ends with after I guess she does that, she's kind of like hiding out in the woods, and Coda walks up to her, and he's got the music box that's playing Lilium.
Yeah, and I really like this scene because like she goes, "You got horns," and she's like about to kill him, and then he was like, "That's so
Yeah,
rad."
that's actually basically the start of episode 9.
Yeah, it's episode 9, which is called Remnants.
Reminiscence.
Reminiscence. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I really like the scene because she's like, "Whatever, you don't want these horns," and he puts a hoodie or a beanie on her and says like, "They're causing you so much trouble. Why don't you just hide them?"
Yeah.
Which also I kind of think is a play on the idea that like just because you're a little different, you can still be part of like you should be treated differently.
Yeah.
And I have that as a theme somewhere around
Yeah.
here.
This entire episode is basically just like the relationship that's built between Kid Coda and Kid Lucy. Like
Oh, yeah.
like he's like telling her like, "Will you be my friend? Like let's hang out." She's like doesn't believe him, and also like in the meantime of like this entire thing, like Lucy's going like house to house just murdering people.
Yeah, killing families just
Yeah.
to live there.
She needs a night to stay, so she walks into a house and just murders everyone there, and is taking a shower. The next day she goes and meets Coda, and they go on little adventures.
Yeah, little cute slice of life adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so this is one scene I didn't like. She really liked the zoo.
Yeah, she did.
She liked the elephants and the giraffe.
Mhm.
And how I feel about zoos.
Yeah.
I hate zoos. I hate the imprisonment of animals and the
Mhm.
habitat. And of course, I think they should all be wild going free. And some of them are, kept there. But like, there's been overall there's a theme where she's like, they don't like animals to be tied up.
Yeah.
They let go of the dog, the little puppy that
Yeah.
Mayu has.
They empathize with the dogs, or like it's stressed that they empathize with animals more than they care about actual people because they're willing to murder, and they won't they won't kill dogs.
They won't kill. They'll
Yeah.
kill a human for looking at them,
Yeah.
but a dog bites them, they don't do nothing.
Yeah.
But this scene right here, though, is like I was like thinking like they're in the zoo, like you shouldn't really like that. Like they're being, they're imprisoned.
Yeah.
And whatever I think about zoos, but that's what I was getting at. I was like, I'm sorry she didn't let the elephants loose or the giraffes loose.
Yeah. Also, they like show this aspect of her where like she doesn't necessarily want to kill, but she's got like this inner like demon or inner voice like
Yes, I like that.
driving her to kill.
Yeah, like she wants to be just a normal girl, and like
Yeah.
it's like everything that like all the bad thoughts you have, like he doesn't care about you, he didn't show up, and then Coda's like, I'm here, did you wait for me?
Yeah.
And she's like, no, but like yeah, that inner voice keeps telling her to do bad, like to think of the worst in people. Yeah, and then this is the scene that really didn't get to me, but I wrote it in like the scene is like they have this like really nice like little romantic scene, like slice of life walking down, holding hands and stuff, and she goes, I gotta meet my cousin.
Yeah.
And she goes, oh, boy or girl? Then because she really liked Coda, and he was like, boy.
Yeah.
And she's like really happy, but that came back full force. That little lie,
Yeah.
which came back with jealousy, came back
Mhm.
later on in like the worst possible way.
Yeah.
So I wrote that in there because he did lie.
It was pretty tragic. Yeah.
Which
So basically like after they go to the zoo, like Lucy's asking Coda like can we hang out tomorrow? Like can I go to the fair with you? Like cuz Coda's like no, I got to go to the fair, and he's like no, I promised my cousin. And so he's like rejecting Lucy in a way, and then Lucy asks, "Is it a boy or a girl that you promised to go to the fair with?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry, it's a boy."
Yeah,
And so
and
like
just to like
that's
alleviate, like,
yeah,
yeah. But I think he knew what he was doing. Like it
yeah,
was obvious. He was just didn't want her to get jealous. And of course, she went to the fair, and it wasn't a girl, which we'll get that
sees
later.
them.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, she literally starts killing right there at the fair. Like
yeah,
she sees Coda with the cousin. There's also some like weird scenes where like she's like going into like I don't know if shock's the right word about seeing Coda with his cousin Yuka. But
yeah,
like dudes are like being assholes to her, like drunk dudes like are bumping into her and like knocking her down and being like, "You homeless stupid ass little kid, like get out of the way." And
yeah.
so she's like getting bullied and then being lied to and then all this shit. And then she basically like snaps. The voice talks to her and convinces her that she should be killing people.
Also, we get what, and it's not even an important scene. They get a voiceover or somebody. It was a random ass guy. This is illegal in Texas.
Yeah, I wrote that too. I actually had to go back and I heard that and I was like, wait, hold up.
I thought it was when I heard it, I thought it was an ad playing. He said, "This is illegal in Texas,"
Yeah,
and we're from Texas.
that was fucking
I know.
funny.
I was like, why did they add that? Why did they throw that in there? But it was so subtle, and
Yeah.
it was like a random guy saying it
If you want to hear it, I even wrote down the time. 17 minutes, 55 seconds.
in the episode 9.
In episode 9, yeah.
You go check it out.
Yeah, here we
Use
go.
that as a playbill. But all right, I think we're good on episode 9, right?
Yeah, that's good.
All right, so let's get in episode 10, which is called Infant.
Hmm.
So I even wrote, this is where we get her name is Nana. So her name is Nana now.
I'm pretty sure he's calling her Nana the entire time.
This is the scene where they forgive her, like they're back to like being normal because she's just got done fighting. Everything else that just was happening was like predating. It was all flashbacks. So we're back where they just got done fighting, and also I wrote the memory is skewed.
Okay, maybe. This one's just kind of like a weird one. It's kind of like Karama's backstory, like the Chief Karama.
Yes,
Like
which I really liked.
so like Nana's calling Karama Papa the entire time, but then in this episode they reveal that he actually does have a daughter, and his wife dies during childbirth. That's like the main theme of it.
Yeah. No, there's more. There's more to this in that. One of the Charles, one of the things that I wrote as a big theme is that the horns are they're like this idea of like being different and being treated terribly because you're different.
Yeah. So
And
like the girls are born with horns, and
yeah,
it's like they think it's like a genetic defect at first, but
yeah, it's really one of those things. It's like it's not. It's very subtle, but we know
mhm.
that's what they're going for. We know that the theme is like they're different, and everyone just treats them differently. And we actually, I don't know. This is the episode where he does kill his like he basically it's the one that's killing the Diclonius.
Yes. Well, it's revealed that Karama like it's kind of like the backstory. Like he takes on this research job. He wants to he's kind of like tricked into it, right? And he's like smooth talked by the director's son who's got beheaded and has the horns or whatever,
Yeah.
right? He's smooth talked by him, so this is like a flashback, and he's at this lab, right? And he's watching them experiment on like I don't know, like a 8-year-old girl or whatever, and they're like throwing like balls at her,
Like
steel,
metallic,
yeah,
yeah,
steel
like
balls
metallic
at her,
cannonballs.
slowly faster and faster and faster, and then they're waiting until she can't deflect it anymore.
Yeah.
Then they're doing research.
Well, they're upping in the weight.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
they're upping the weight for everyone they do it. So that was really, oh man, that was such a sad. Again, this is a scene where I was just like I even wrote that they're torturing them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but this is where we find out that like the Diclonius will kill their parents.
Yes, yes.
Like
They're giving all the backstory. Like this is the backstory. Like it's showing a bunch of scenes where Diclonius, like once they hit at like a certain age, these girls with like this genetic mutation in the horns, basically just start killing humans. Right.
like they just have like the urge to kill humans,
Hmm.
and the parents, since are the closest one, they're the first to die.
Yeah. And so like the girl like Karama is like kind of like shocked by this. Like he's like, I don't want to do this or whatever. And the guy's like smooth talking him again in the office. And that one little girl that they're throwing the steel like cannonballs at escapes. Like she like faked that she couldn't actually deflect bullets and like starts murdering people and
Oh,
makes her way back up to the office and finds them. Right, like she's murdering people and she says,
thanks.
"I want to thank you," and then
Yeah,
like touches him like with her hand, and
yeah.
then she takes one to the dome. But
Oh yeah, and by the way, she's been getting shot at and deflecting bullets.
yeah,
So it turns out that like if she's surprised by like some armored piercing bullet, like
yeah,
it actually will kill her.
something that goes
Which
faster.
is something that happened in the very first
Yeah,
episode with Lucy. She gets shot with the sniper, and it's
it's a 50 cal.
yeah. So like it just knocks off, but she's wearing a helmet.
Yeah, yeah,
So that's what happened right there.
yeah. So so, so like so like it goes into this like whole backstory about how Karama is like decides to join the organization, and he's like takes it upon himself to start murdering
Yes.
the babies that are born with this disease, right?
Yeah.
Right, like they're all born with horns. So he like shows up and it's just like, he personally deals with them himself, so that like he even tells like one of his colleague um is there, and his colleague has a baby girl, and it's a Diclonius, and he's like begging him not to, and he's like don't worry, like this is my burden, this is my responsibility, like you have no say in this, I'm doing it.
I don't want anyone else murdering
Yes,
kids. I
yes.
will. And man, we get to, and it's already been revealed that he killed his daughter. That he killed his daughter and watched his wife die. Basically.
Yeah. Well, so then like it sets up like his like after he's like there's a scene where he's like, okay, you've already like killed 10 of them. You don't have to do this yourself. And by the way, your wife's 9 months pregnant. And I was like, I already know what's going to happen. And so this is how they figure out that the virus that they're talking about, the Diclonius, is whenever they touch people, whenever the Diclonius touch someone. And it flashes back to that scene where the girl like says, I want to thank you, and like touches him on the head, right? She infected him with the virus. So his next child would be a Diclonius.
Yeah.
And so then he's set up with the dilemma of like, I have to kill my own child now because I'm been doing that.
Yeah. Well,
And
he keeps repeating the same scene. It's you either kill them now when they're babies, or they'll like kill them. He has a scene like
Yeah.
actual like he's saying something that where it's like, and then he repeats it before he goes and tries to kill his daughter. And again,
yeah,
by the way, his wife is dying as well. She has internal bleeding.
his wife dies basically from pregnancy complications, and she's begging him to save his child. And he decides to. He decides to honor his wife's last wish,
Yeah, he
and
does.
saves the Diclonius.
Yeah.
And then it's revealed that there's a third generation called number 35 that has vectors so strong that you can just see them. They're no longer invisible. And not only that, but she's got like 26 of them.
Yeah, exactly.
And like in her own like little super safe pod. Like
Nobody knows that she's even
yeah,
existed.
yeah.
And they find out that they have this person, and yeah, and we get this. So it ends. This is where we get in episode 11, where it's
Yeah.
called. I wrote Vermichung. What did you write for episode 11?
I said complication.
Yeah, I guess I got the different language one. I wrote that one down. But you get this idea of number 35,
Mm-hmm.
and we get her name in the final episode.
Yeah.
So we number 35 right now. She can't be killed, but dude, this is such a good scene, right? This is an amazing scene. We get the scene where they say, how are we gonna control her? Well, we have this scientist that's been with her since birth,
Yeah.
and basically is like she calls her mommy,
Yeah.
her mother.
She believes she's the mom.
She's like, I can't wait to see her. She's gonna hug me. Like she's like talking about like she's an actual mom.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, don't do it, lady. I was already thinking about this. So, but they said we have a contingency plan where like if we are if she attacks, we have a bomb set to to blow, and
Yeah.
she will
Yeah. If she doesn't listen to like the mom, right? We can threaten her essentially.
and we get one of the coolest scenes in my opinion, like one of the top, like I mean there's some good scenes in here, but this is one of my favorite scenes. So basically they have the scientist who's the mom go up to her and embrace her, and she basically just splits her whole body into pieces.
Yeah. She's like, you're not my mom.
And then they go blow her up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Set to detonate. For the guy that's behind a glass window, detonates. The torso of that scientist flies through and breaks it.
Mm-hmm.
So they start, it starts lashing out, whatever. Everyone's like dying, and then we get this scene, which is the torso of the scientist. She sets off the bomb. It's just her torso.
Yeah, yeah. She's already cut in half. Like,
Yeah. It's such a good, because
Yeah.
I didn't see it the first watch. I seen it the second when I
okay.
watched it with you.
Uh-huh.
I was like, get the hell out, because I was wondering how, like, what happened to her. I thought somebody shot her, and apparently if she's in pain, she cannot be she can't release what they call vectors, which are their invisible arms, which we haven't said yet, but they're called vectors.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, so they blow her arm off with like the bomb, and she doesn't like the feeling of pain, and it turns off like her vectors, number 35, and so they basically, use this third of the bomb, and basically decide that they're gonna use number 35 to go kill Nana, which is number 7, and bring Lucy back.
Which is kind of, I was wondering about that. Like they just said kill Nana. Like
It's like kind of like a revenge thing because Karma disobeyed the director, so it's like his punishment that they're gonna go finish her off. Like he didn't kill her.
Well, let me ask you. Do you think number 35? Because I think they could sense when that's not their real parent. Do you think number 35 was like playing the scientist? Like, I'll call her mama, and then I'll use this first time my advantage, because she was very conniving.
Yeah, she was.
Yeah, she was really conniving, and we find out that they do lie.
Yeah,
they do fake not having powers to get a betterment over somebody. And I think she was using this whole like mama thing to like lure in of getting escaped.
Yeah,
kind of like an ex machina type deal.
Yeah.
So I did see that. The last thing I said is that we have this. Donna knows that number 35 is coming.
Yeah, she knows she's coming.
She knows she's coming, and she's like, "I'm gonna go for a walk." And they're like, "No, don't go." Mayu's like, "Don't go." And he's like, "No, I gotta go because there's Noba noodles, Noba soup they're making. I'll be back for the Noba soup."
Yeah.
And she goes to walk, and then that's when we get this kind of like scene where whoever that's in charge now, the new chief, it's not Kawazawa now.
Yeah. And honestly, he actually goes AWOL and goes and meets up with Bondo and is like, I need help with this.
I need you to kill.
Yeah.
Diclonius. It doesn't say which one.
Yeah, I thought he needed him to kill number 35. I actually wrote a question mark.
Yeah, I thought so too. Yeah. Was it not number 35?
He thinks he's there to kill Lucy.
Yeah. Bondo doesn't care. He wants to kill Lucy.
Yeah.
But we get this really cool scene where she says, I have a bomb. It goes off every 30 minutes unless somebody enters a code. And if you do anything that we suspect that's not what the plan is, we're gonna kill you.
Yeah,
we're gonna kill you. And she's like, okay, as long as I get to kill someone, I get to kill number 7, or I get to kill. I think she calls her number 7.
Yeah,
and she's so conniving and malicious.
Yeah,
and she's creepy as hell, really reaffirm the theme of horror.
Yeah.
All right, I got nothing else for number.
Yeah. This is when Nana senses 35 and goes to meet her on her own because she doesn't want to cause trouble for like Kouta and Yuka and the family she's made friends with. So.
And she just gets messed up, right?
Yeah. Yeah. It begins with like they see each other, and then episode 12. It's called Quagmire.
Can you explain a little bit about the term quagmire?
Quagmire is like kind of like a murky water you've been like bogged down in. Is like a quagmire, almost like quicksand.
Okay.
So like
all right. Well, I didn't know that. All right. Well, thank you. Yeah, because I know they do quagmire on like the Rudius Gray Rat. Yeah, Mashoka Tensei. Yeah. Well, we get to know that number 35 loves to kill. She loves killing. She wants to kill like all the time. Yeah. She's malicious as fuck.
Yeah, and she basically treats Nana like in their fight, like Nana is just completely overwhelmed, like has no chance, like, and she's basically treating her like a cat and mouse, like the cat's already caught the mouse and just toying with it, like playing with her, like not even killing it, just fucking making her suffer.
So I do want to mention something about this. When they run up, so Lucy and Kouta go out to find Nana.
Yeah.
All the military men are knocked out.
Yeah, I don't know. I assume that's Nana. I was confused about that as well.
I assumed too it was Nana, but like that's the last.
Either that or it was Bondo and the director.
What I was thinking, it was number 35 the whole time, just like with one of her arms, just like out there, just killing him to find. But it never touched base on who it was. But they're all knocked out, and I think our best option would be that it was Nana. But
Yeah.
that's the last time we see the cops.
Yeah.
So these cops that I thought had secrets that played a big role in it, that were doing these things, this is the last scene we get from them. That they're just on the ground unconscious. We don't even know
Yeah.
if they're dead.
Yeah.
They could be, but they're just unconscious. So that's the last scene we get.
Yeah.
And we start. This is man. So that's the first half, right?
This episode was actually really hectic. Like it was a lot going on
Yeah.
all at the same time. Like Nana's fighting, Lucy and Kota are going there, and then like I don't know what Nana does to like fight number 35 off, but like she finds like a moment of weakness and like touches her.
It touches her head,
Yeah.
and then she just falls in the water, and then
Yeah.
that's where that scene ends, and then we get this.
And then Lucy and Kota
Yeah.
show up. Well, it's actually new because it's in new news persona with Kota,
Yeah.
and like Kota's trying to shield him from the bullets, and they're like, we're gonna like shoot them both, like kill them both.
And then number 35 is like, that's not, I can't kill her. That's
Yeah.
not Lucy.
Yeah.
Because they can't recognize, because it's two different personas.
Yeah.
And then Lucy, of course, switches sometimes.
I honestly really like Lucy's like badassness. Like when she goes into like kill mode, like she's just like there's like it reinforces the reason that everyone's afraid of her. Like she just like
Yeah. I really like, that's my favorite character. It's not
Yeah.
Mew, it's Lucy.
Oh yeah.
Lucy is my favorite character in the show because like the way she looks, the way she talks,
Mhm.
the way she has like no emotions, like she's just so like depraved of what
Yeah.
it's like to be an actual like person.
Yeah.
She has no idea.
Yeah. And as Lucy's, killing all the soldiers and Kota's watching the carnage, he flashes back and remembers what exactly happened to his sister and his dad
The traumatic story,
back
yeah.
at the festival. Like all the memories he's been repressing. Like he's like freaking out and like gets like hints of it, and then like suppresses his PTSD.
Yeah,
PTSD.
we get the big reveal of what his trauma really is.
Yeah.
And essentially we get this scene where they've already been showing the scene throughout
Mhm.
the series, throughout the season, and it's a scene. It's like they're at the festival and they're having a good time. He's with his cousin, who's a girl, and then like they're walking, and then his dad, Yuka's uncle, was, I found you. I'm so glad I found you. Where's your sister Kunai?
Mhm.
Kunai. And then we see Kunai, and it's like, I saw people die, and she seems like she's dealt with traumatic stress as well. But we get that, and then man, dude, there's a scene where like she's like humming the music.
Oh,
It goes back to them, and she's humming the music, and I thought it was a really good scene. But the big reveal that we're getting at is that she gets really jealous. Again, jealousy.
She gets jealous.
She gets jealous that it was a girl. His cousin was a girl, and basically he's like, oh, like Lucy didn't show up. I'm getting on the train. I'm going back home. That's bummer. And then Lucy's on the train the whole time, and basically,
Basically just says you're a liar, and
Yeah.
then proceeds to murder his little sister
Kunai, yeah,
and his father right in front of him.
right in front of him. And then he like they wrestle for a bit. He starts like slamming her shoulders in the ground.
Mhm.
He's crying, and then the scene ends, and that was like the big reveal of like, the connection. That's why I said it was so awkward that it was coincidental that she arrived on shore, and it was that that scene.
Yeah.
And that's I have nothing. That was episode 12.
Yeah. It ends the flashback, and like Kota recognizes that Lucy is who the little girl from his memories, and knows that she killed him, and she tells him to wait for her at the stone steps.
Yeah, and then it starts off with episode 13, the last episode, which is called No Return. Nana is saved by Papa. That's what I wrote. And this is what pissed me off. It ends with episode 12 ends with the battle between Bondo and
Lucy.
Lucy says, yells to Kota, meet me at the stone steps, and that's how it ends. But like it starts off with
Bono already lost.
Bondo lost.
Yeah.
And that's his final scene. It's her standing over like, you'll never see me again.
Yeah.
You'll never. And I was just thinking like, why wouldn't he never see you again?
Yeah.
What are you getting at? And I was thinking maybe it's because she's gonna die and she knows it.
Yeah.
Or I had so many thoughts. I was like, Bondo is like, you're not killing him. Like she didn't kill him.
Yeah. She lets him live.
Yeah, she lets him live, and I'm sure maybe in the manga it touches base on that. But that's Bondo's last scene with us as like the anime watchers. We didn't get to see anything. So him, the cops, they had no character
Closure.
ending
Yeah.
closure. Yes, I wrote that down.
Yeah, and then I think Lucy meets up with Coda and she acknowledges her jealousy, and then decides to go and fight number 35. Like she goes towards her.
Well, they're skipping on something. Number 35 pretends not her
Oh yeah,
vectors do
yeah,
not work,
yeah,
which was hinted previously from like number 3
yeah,
that they say that my vectors aren't working anymore. They're like basically just like eating whatever they're getting,
yeah.
and she says that, right? Um,
Oh yeah, and so as she's like laying in the hospital bed pretending that her vectors don't work, she learns that Karama is her father from like one of the scientists that's
yes,
like having a conversation on the phone. Yeah,
exactly. Yeah,
yeah.
we find out
That is a big reveal.
that's
Yeah,
a huge
I
reveal.
suspected it, but it wasn't confirmed until then.
I didn't. I knew that. I figured it was someone.
Yeah,
I knew it was like her parents because like it was like cause she was a third generation. That's why I made like hinted.
yeah, yeah.
She was a third generation. I really want to know who the like was the mom of Diclonius, but no, actually never mind. It touched base. He got touched.
Yeah, he got
He got
touched.
touched. You're
Yeah.
right. We get that nice scene, and then we get Lucy going after number 35, and number
Mhm.
35 is just waiting for Lucy. So this is where the scene got confusing. I thought the next scene would be her talking to Coda, like not finding number 35.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Like it didn't make sense for her to say like meet me at the stone stairs where I'm also going to be fighting.
Yeah.
Like it didn't make sense. It should have been the stone case first,
And
then
then,
the fight,
yeah.
or that's my opinion. But like it could have gone either way.
Yeah.
So they get this fight that's not. It's so one sided.
Yeah. Honestly, the number 35 is creepy as hell in this fight too.
She's so dark, malicious, and conniving. It's like spooky.
Mm-hmm.
Gave me little chills whenever she's like laughing, like
Yeah,
so
and she's like in like a wheelchair, like wheeling around. Like,
yeah. Okay, I really don't like the wheelchair. To be honest, I don't like the wheelchair at all. But whatever. She's wandering around, and that's when we find her real name. Her name is Mariko.
Yeah.
Which we find out that because Kawazawa, right? Is it Kawazawa?
Mm-hmm.
Kawazawa
calls her that. Yeah.
Calls her that. Like I remember, you're my real daughter.
Yeah.
And then Nana is like, I'm your daughter. And again, jealousy comes back.
The jealousy aspect.
The jealousy part comes right back around, and it's like, that's not even your real daughter. And she's like punishing Nana by pushing her in the wall. But we also get before this happens, we actually get the fight between her and Lucy, and basically she just unleashes like all the arms on Lucy and basically knocks off her horn.
Yeah, knocks off one of her horns. Yeah.
And they didn't touch base on that at all.
Well, Lucy can't beat her, is what I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So like Lucy would have lost that fight, knocks off the horn, right? Yeah. And then Karama shows up and distracts Mariko, and then that's where you have the whole scene of like the reveal of the father daughter aspect, and he's like pointing a gun at her, and honestly, this shit was like heart wrenching. I even wrote that shit down. Like this shit's fucking hard to watch.
It was rough because also, by the way, the music.
Yeah.
It's the intro music that's playing.
Yeah, the theme song's playing. Yeah.
It's playing during this like standoff, and basically how it works is that Kawazawa was like, "I'm your dad. I'm gonna take you away," and he walks by knowing.
Yeah, and he's like apologizing the whole time. Like, I'm sorry. Like, it's my fault. You're even having to live through this life. Like, you have to experience all this pain, this and that. And then Mariko's like asking, like, the only thing I ever wanted was for you to come and like talk to me, come like find me. Like, I imagined every single day I'd leave my little cage and I'd see you. It was very heart wrenching.
Yeah, like I think she knew who her real dad was.
Yeah, I mean they can sense other Diclonius, so it makes sense that she might.
Yeah, and what really like is he picks her up and like walks off. He knows that she has a bomb in her. He's the one that put it there.
Yeah, or
he one that insisted it be there. So he tells the scientist that's like watching her like set it off, and he walks off from the pier and like he gives this whole embrace of like. The love, like your mom really loved you. Yeah. I love you.
I'm glad I have this opportunity to tell you this. And
yes.
Then it's all ended.
And I was saying that it would have been really good if he goes, your mom always wanted you to know, and then just explode. I don't know, that was really a dark way of doing it, but yeah. So Mariko is no longer, and neither is Kawazawa. Nana's alive. And then it turns out that Lucy's alive, and then she goes and rendezvous.
Then she meets with Coda.
Yeah, with Coda, and basically they have this
I
Like,
was surprised by this, honestly.
so I even wrote this on my notes. So, like, he knows she murdered his family,
Mm-hmm.
and she knows, and it's like she knows she can never be forgiven, and he knows that he'll never forget.
Mm-hmm.
But like, the love that they share is like it's unconditional love,
Mm-hmm.
to the point where she doesn't, he cares obviously, but he's looking past that to be with her right now.
Yeah, he's looking towards the future because he wants to like her not to have to kill anymore. Like
Yeah.
he'll never forgive her, but
Yeah,
you
he's
know,
trying to stop her from going out and killing
yeah.
anymore. And then we get that Coda's a dog.
Yeah, another makeout scene,
Another
dudes.
makeout
Yeah.
scene, and they're kissing, and it really made me think, is like, I wrote, who does Coda love more? And actually no, that was for, yeah, but like, who's he interested in?
I think it's new.
I think it's new. Well, I think it's, yeah, new
Yeah,
Lucy.
Lucy.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think it
Lucy.
is. I think it is her. Like, I feel like he embraced Yuka because she embraced him, and but really it was new and Lucy new Lucy the entire time, and
Yeah.
like the fact is, like, even though she murdered his family, he's still embracing the love.
Yeah.
And I wrote, who does Coda love? And then we get a weird reveal, by the way, and I wrote weird reveal because, and we're already gonna wrap up this, the breakdown, but the weird reveal is that the director has horns too,
Oh
and
yeah.
basically he goes, now we can really have the fun or whatever, and that research assistant's there, but yeah, and then it kind of just goes back to them kissing, and then the credits slowly start rolling in.
Well, Lucy goes off. Yeah, the credits
Oh,
start.
right, yeah. There's credits rolling.
After the little heartwarming scene between Lucy and Coda, she goes to confront the military again, and her second horn is broken off.
Yeah.
The other side of it. So to me, I think that was going for that. It was an unwinnable battle.
Yeah.
She couldn't have possibly won it. Just like her horn was broken off against Mitoko, number 35. So then the clock starts ticking. It's kind of like a flash forward. Time has passed.
We don't know how much time has
Yeah.
passed, but I want to say that not a lot of time has passed. I want to say one day has passed.
One day could be
because
be a day, could be a week.
the Noba noodles.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, I didn't get to have Noba noodles. You know why? And then they're having Noba noodles.
Yeah.
I think it was been one full day, but he doesn't say much. And
Yeah.
then the final scene is that she looks off and she sees a girl like figure in the silhouette of like the door, and we don't get to know who it is.
Yeah, they did set out a fifth cup for dinner that night, and then there's a knock at the door.
Which I didn't like. I didn't like this scene. They could have
Yeah.
either show that she was her or not shown her at all.
It should have been the detective. Is what it should have been.
It should have been. It could have been anyone. It could have been Bondo. And I'd be okay with it. But the fact that it didn't show it, but it implied it that it was new, I didn't like. They could have ended it without really
But then
doing that.
would it have been new or would it have been Lucy? What would
Either
you have been-
it didn't really matter. It could have been either one of them to
Yeah.
me. But it's either reveal them or imply that they're dead.
Yeah,
That
they should have not done the knock and just done the whole fifth thing and let you wonder.
Exactly. That's
Yeah.
what I would rather do. Like, say, just in case she shows back, and then maybe like a shadow. Like it really, they made it where that scene was not needed.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a great scene, and that's the breakdown of Elfen lead. I definitely will like touch base, like, there was this, and they brought it up in the review that there's nature versus nurture, and wait, like, she's, to her, Lucy killing people doesn't mean nothing to her.
Mhm.
Same way like a lion killing or a tiger killing a gazelle. I don't know the Animal Planet.
Yeah.
They don't care that the apex predator. They're gonna kill no matter what, for food, for substance, because they have the need. So there's no so like, she to herself, she's killing, but it doesn't really matter to her.
She's killing for survival.
She's killing families to like stay in their house. I don't know.
It's cold blooded, but
Yeah, so I don't know how much survivability. She does not need Wi-Fi, but that there's a really big theme on that. The big theme, of course, to me was jealousy, being envious of like the relationships that were happening, and that really is the reason Coda's family's dead, is because she got jealous and envious.
Mm-hmm.
So that was also a major plot. And this show was so good, man. And
I really liked it. Honestly, like, it's not very often I feel emotional about things, and this did it a bunch of times.
I mean, honestly, the final scene with Kawazawa and Mariko was really, it was a tearjerker, man.
Yeah, it was. I
Yeah,
agree.
I wanted them to be. You knew that was the only way.
Yeah, honestly, this entire fucking anime was just nothing but tragedy after tragedy. You just want to see some semblance of happiness, and
And then it happens kind of
a
at the
little
end.
bit, yeah.
Man, all right, guys. You got anything else?
Nah, I'm probably gonna go check out how the manga ends. I'm curious now.
I'm curious. Let me know because I'm
Yeah,
not gonna read the manga.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, this was a solid pick for our horror Halloween anime list that we're doing.
yeah,
I honestly can't believe that it was this good. I don't know if I'll put it in my top 10, but man, this might crack a top 20 list.
yeah. It's up there for being so old. Like,
It's
you know,
so good,
yeah,
and y'all should check it out. It has a cult following, so make sure to watch this full episode. And then, if you don't believe us, go check it out. Comment down below what you think.
yeah,
I had fun watching this. Like, it was not even a. It was. I didn't even realize it was. I was binging. It was so good,
yeah, yeah. I
and it
agree.
kept me invested. The slice of life, the love, the romance, and they even say it's a romance anime, and I felt it, man.
Yeah,
It hit home for me, like
yeah,
just being like relative to like this whole idea of like what love is, like
yeah.
true love, unconditional love.
Yeah.
So definitely.
The director himself, if you go back to the beginning of this video, said he wanted it to be a tearjerker. Wanted to create tears, and it
And
does it. Watch this and tell me you're not sad at any point in it.
I'm sure they're gonna be like, yeah, I'm a man. No, it really is one of those anime that if you get fully invested with some of the characters, it hits home.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely check out this. Definitely go watch our other videos. Make sure to follow, like, subscribe. If you want to hear us, check us out on Spotify. We're on Spotify, Instagram. We're on Twitter. Let us know what you think. We're always around,
Yeah.
and we enjoy all the feedback we get.
We're still waiting for a recommendation. No one's done it yet.
They do. It's just some of them are kind of iffy. Like, they want us to watch like the whole Blood Plus series.
Oh.
I don't want to do that.
Okay.
Well, but we get more requests. We'll definitely do it. Maybe next Halloween season.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, that's all I got, guys. You guys have a great evening. I'll catch you guys later. Bye.
Later.
That was good.